We in North America need to protest like the French do. https time.com/5476534 /French protests successful Macron / Basically what the title says. Anytime government or companies try to take away our rights, we need to mobilize the way French people do. I have relatives in France, and from what they tell me, and from what I've seen when visiting, the government is afraid of its people. That's how it should be here. Reduction to healthcare? 1,000s in the streets of Paris are protesting. Making unions weaker? Chaos in France. The government backs down. In America, there's a stereotype about how the French are cowards and won't fight. And we all like to joke about it time to time. But I can assure you that's not true. Yes, we especially need to be spraying tanker loads of manure into the homes of elected officials and judges. Why don't we have a workers' party in the U.S.? Universal guaranteed income. National minimum wage should be $30 an hour at this point. Billionaires should not exist. One person flourishes while thousands struggle. It won't happen if things stay the same. French protests aren't working anymore. Macron isn't afraid of them. Which is really stupid on his part, seeing as they nearly got his ass twice. And he keeps getting slapped in public. Macron has refused to back down on raising the retirement age. And now the people are rioting over a kid being murdered by cops. Yet nothing has changed. Americans' health insurance is tied to their job, so they can't protest with numbers, as they can't get time off work. It's simple. They practice dividing Americans by hatred, using race and social status. Americans are too bent on feeling better than the next person, so they will never recognize the serpent coiled around them. Whites feel better than blacks because they aren't being shot in the streets. Blacks dislike everyone else because they are being discriminated against and stolen from on historical levels. Hispanics and Asians are just happy not to be on the bottom rung of the ladder, and as a result cater to whites who, for the most part, will never treat them equally because they prefer the devil you know. And natives are watching everyone else like, why exactly are you people here again? Quote, and at the root of this? Racist. Rich people who would gladly sell all of us into financial slavery in order to keep their lavish lifestyles fed. It's why wages don't rise. Because they want you to work as a slave and make them money until the day you die with no way to escape. It's why a certain party constantly attempts to crash the economy and cause inflation, depression, recessions so they can milk even more money from the economy and drive inflation higher while filling their pockets. It's why they damage higher learning and seek to place people into echo chambers of misinformation. If you don't know anything else, you won't fight back. Divide and conquer tactics work. You can't stand next to a man if he wants to kill you because you suffer a little bit differently than he does. The reason we don't is simple. Not everyone is at the bottom. If you have clawed your way up a few rungs on the food chain, you are not likely to want to risk the little bit you have. I was honestly surprised when Roe v. Wade was overruled. I told all my coworkers that you would not accept it. Land of the free and all that. Nope, I was wrong and disappointed. Seems like when Americans have a big protest, someone drives a car into it. We can't because unlike the French, our right to protest isn't protected and our access to healthcare is tied to employment. We do. The media calls it rioting. Certainly you heard about the George Floyd uprising?
Amen.
Has it been a week already? Something really key. The French have retained public systems in a way that we haven't. The unions fought for legal enshrinement of mostly institutional welfare systems in the USA. Unions sector by sector with their employers. We have means-tested and administratively burdened residual welfare. We need universal institutional welfare. We need to enshrine it across the board. Also, we have the most gigantic policing and prison system ever known to man. This needs to be addressed. Just no burning libraries. Mixed emotions. While I understand your point, too many Trumpistas are looking for an excuse for armed rebellion. No thanks, I don't want my car burned down. France has the best win-loss record for wars in Europe. It's better than ours. US. And if it weren't for their help in the Revolutionary War, we'd all be speaking British right now. We never will. Remember, most of France is a 23-hour train ride from their capital city, while most of our countrymen live several days' journey. There is no spontaneous uprising here. We can't because our police forces are militarized, and I think that was probably the point. I can't even discuss local elections without being called a communist since I'm left of center. It won't happen. The powers that be succeeded in dividing our country to a degree we haven't seen in decades. Living in MAGA country, it's like a whole different world after the last few years. LGBT people getting harassed again. People wearing their party on their sleeve. Racists don't even hide anymore. It's sad. They won and we're all fighting for last place.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.